Hello, is spring here? Well, I thought so. Well, I know better. We all know better. It's just beyond April Fool's Day. And what a fool, what a fool I was. I should have known, and I know myself so well, and I know I'm not the only one who can predict your own disasters prior to them happening because you know that you are what you are doing is done in haste and susceptible to such accidents. Today I want to talk about paths, but in talking about that I have to grab a path. See, all was so good. It was so good. I want to say I almost made another video. Almost. This close, just this close. But if I can do this, but this is the porch where if I were, I can't do it with my hand because this door is really secure, but we had storms, and so of course I have my barrels to catch the rainwater that is so precious. And also at the same time, it was warm. It was 70 for most of the day. Cloudy as well, overcast because of the storms. So I took advantage of that, knowing that it was temporary because it was dropping down to freezing. Cold front was coming in, but still, as we all Orchid people do, I took advantage of the situation, knowing that I was asking for a disaster because that day also the storms, it was rainy, it was also windy, like, I don't know how, it was probably at least 20 mile an hour. So, and this is high up, no shelter. So I had the plants braced along the corner here, knowing that the wind was coming from a certain direction, knowing that the pots, not all the pots are in ceramic. So they were braced for the hurricane, but it was the rain. And do you know, after all of that, we didn't get a drop of rain. But I got a lot of things done. And because of that, I didn't get bring the plants inside until after dark, when the temps had dropped to 40. So you can imagine that I was kind of frantic. It was cold. And another thing that I haven't said, that the cats, I can't prop the door open because the cats, I could have, but at the time, I was just trying to get them in because it was cold. And I should have, my first instinct was to not load my arms up with too much, but I was worried that a cat was going to sneak up behind me. It was just constantly on my mind. So I knew that I was taking a big risk, but as I always think, despite being a bull in a china closet, despite knowing that there's going to be an accident, I took my extra careful And that just made it worse because I had a handful, and I've already shown it to you. And the disaster of it is they all relatively, it's really my Eranthes, Arachnidas, which is the one that lost the bark. I don't think really anything else suffered much, but it's a pain, you know. This is not, would you? So that's the story. I'm going to move on and show you my beautiful paths. This is my Mount Toro that is just about to pop open. Show some separation from and not divide, but distinguish the buds from one another, the flower buds. That is one of the beauties of orchids. They are not all the same. Not similar in development, growth, culture, of course. But this is a Mount Toro. This is actually it's a rescue that I had. I still have a bigger Mount Toro at the greenhouse. But this is one that I saved, and I'll put some pictures up. That is beautiful because it has Isabel Stony Eye. It has Stony Eye in it. Stony Eye is my favorite. Okay, some of the other paths that I have. This is my, this is a Paphiopedilum. No, this is it's, geez, I am really losing it. I am, because I know what that is. And it is a Chinese Armeniacum. No, that's a yellow one. It is the raspberry. Anyway, you know which one I'm talking about. That's a nice new growth, which is very, very exciting because, like I said, I've failed at these Chinese slow-growing model leaf that when I first started growing orchids 20, 30 years ago, these were all the rage and were reputedly easy for beginners. But we're talking about paths, and I have other paths. This is path, but anyway, I'm thinking of angricoids. I want to call it Delainatii, but it's not. Anyway, I am just rambling. Let's go on to the next one. And this is a Rothschildianum that has been marinating. And this is the first time that it is blooming. And this is a Orchid Inn, which is another story to tell. Sam Sui. If anyone has any information on the status, please be one of the greatest path hybridizers, breeders, just ambassadors is AOL or AWL. Anyway, that is Rothschildianum, and I just get so hypnotized by the patterning. It is so artistic. It looks like a painter's brush, the sheath. And this one over here is Roth times Yang Ji Hawk that I just got And this was from Path, you know that, what is it? Austin Creek, that's that. So this also has Roth in it, of course, and I believe it has some Sanderianum. So that should be pretty as well. I'm looking forward to the flowers, and I'll keep you posted. I promise. So anyway, folks, I just noticed that this is just the gift that keeps giving, and that is the flower. I wish I could get it more closer. But it's not. Ooh. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching.